Hello, welcome to Northbeat from Inuvik, Northwest Territories. Right now, I'm in the Inuvik Fire Hall. The firefighters here have a lot of duties, but one that sticks out in a good way is that each year they put on a big fireworks show for the community. Tonight, you'll hear from the Inuvik Fire Department about that show and the unique northern challenges they face. But first, the news. Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts in Inuvik, Northwest Territories. In Nunavik, the village of Pivernatuk is reeling from a double tragedy. Police say 2 deaths are being investigated as a murder and suicide. Samuel Watt reports.
A warning, the story contains some distressing details. Nunavik Police's Patrice Abel says officers found the bodies of a 54-year-old woman and her 57-year-old husband in their Pivernatuk home. He says police received information from the couple's daughter and son, who say they went to their parents' home on January 5th, having not heard from them in days. That's when they discovered their mother dead and their father with a rifle in hand.
The son tried to negotiate with him, and he's been able to just get the rifle out of his hand.
Afterwards, he says the daughter and son went to the neighbour's house to call the police. They stayed there until officers arrived. When police got to the scene, Abel says they found the man also dead with a different firearm next to him. The deaths have left the community shaken.
As a community, we are going through a very hard time. It's been overwhelming.
Mayor Lucy Halingo says residents are rallying behind the family. There are also plans for elders from healing groups and other communities to provide support in Pivernatuk. She also urges people to continue helping each other lead healthier lives.
I know we are going through so much, especially through generational trauma, but we have to lean forward to healthier lifestyle and healing.
With the case being treated as a homicide, the Provincial Police Service, the Sûreté du Québec, are now the ones tasked with the investigation. Samuel Watt, CBC News, Yellowknife.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there's help. You can call the Kamatsiak Tut Nunavut helpline at 1-867-979-3333 or toll free at 1-800-265-3333. You can also call the Suicide Crisis Helpline by dialing 988. Both lines are available 24/7. Inuvik Gas wants residents to conserve energy following an unexpected reduction in propane supply. In a statement on Tuesday, the company says road closures on the Dempster Highway delayed propane deliveries. Now, the community's mayor says more trucks carrying propane are on the way to Inuvik. The CBC's Des Loreen joins me now with more on this story. So, Des, tell us the latest on the fuel situation here.
So, Megan, thank you. I spoke to Mayor Peter Clarkson this afternoon. He says that with the better weather coming in the next few days, more fuel is on its way. For people who don't know, propane is trucked into Inuvik, and then it's converted to natural gas here in the community and used for buildings and other homes and stuff like that.
And how did this happen in the first place?
So what happened was, it was a real combination of things that happened. First of all, they're saying that the blizzards that hit the Dempster Highway closed the road for a little bit here this past couple of weeks. As well, they saw a later season for the ice crossings coming in here in the Delta. So those things kind of combined. Yeah, that's sort of what added to it. I spoke to Mayor Clarkson this afternoon, though, and he told me a bit about the plans for the stock to make sure this doesn't happen again.
The town burns about 45,000 liters of natural gas a day. So that's one truckload coming up the Dempster. So with the one truck that got in yesterday, that gives us another day, and now I think we've got 4 to 5 days of supply in town.
So Clarkson added that more fuel is coming up to the storage facility here, and they'll be holding more propane. He says right now residents can help the situation by reducing their use in heating fuels whenever possible. Like, he's saying things, if you have a heated garage, maybe turn the heating down in there. He doesn't want people freezing or being uncomfortable, especially during this cold weather we're having right now.
Okay, thanks for all your work on this, Des.
Thanks so much.
That's the CBC's Des Lorraine reporting live in Inuvik. To Greenland now, the White House says military action is an option when it comes to Trump's goal of controlling the island. And some Inuit say they're concerned about the threat. The CBC's Mahnor Mubarak has the latest.
It's very scary. It's very worrisome. It's terrifying, in fact. You know, I worry about the safety of my family. What are they supposed to do? What are the plans to make sure that Inuit are safe in their own homelands?
That's Lakaluk Williamson. She's based in Iqaluit and has family in Greenland, and she says that her family has resisted both Danish and American colonization for generations. For Sarah Olsvik, chair of the Inuit Circumpolar Council, she says she's been hearing people speak up in Greenland.
I can see that a lot of people are rejecting the idea of being taken over by anyone.
ICC is a non-profit organization that represents Inuit across Alaska, Canada, Greenland, and Chukotka, Russia. Olsvik says Inuit should not be divided by state interests.
Too much focuses on that we still, or others still think that the states will and can decide everything for us. And that's not the case. If we look at the political history of Inuit, regardless where we live, we have achieved so much.
She says that ICC is calling for dignified discussions without the use of military power. Ayu Peter is from Greenland, now in Iqaluit, and she says she's been closely following what's happening there. She says she hopes Trump won't take over Greenland by force.
I think he's very capable of following through with his threats. I'm just hoping that he won't fulfill the takeover militarily.
Trump has long spoken about the need for Greenland for security. Nunavut's NDP MP Lori Idlaut says that she stands with the people in Greenland. And Canada's Governor General and Foreign Affairs Minister will be visiting Nuuk, Greenland's capital, next month. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he will meet with Denmark next week. Mahnor Mubarak, CBC News, Iqaluit.
There is also concern in Europe over Trump's threats to take Greenland. Leaders from major European powers have rallied behind Greenland this week, saying the Arctic island belongs to its people. Crystal Gamansing brings us that part of the story.
European leaders are looking to support Greenland and Denmark while avoiding any potential missteps that could widen the divide between themselves and the U.S. administration. An urgent meeting has been requested with the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio by Denmark's foreign minister and his counterpart in Greenland. Meanwhile, today, a Greenlandic member of the Danish parliament said the threats by U.S. President Donald Trump to take Greenland for national security reasons are disrespectful.
This is completely appalling to me, if you ask me. I think it's a completely wrong way to collaborate with other partners, and this is something that, you know, I'm very opposed to, even talking in these kind of senses. So it's very disrespectful towards the Greenlandic people.
The Danish Prime Minister went further Monday, saying any military action by the U.S. to seize Greenland would be the end of NATO. Denmark is a member giving protection to Greenland. So if the U.S. launched any sort of military action, it would be one NATO member attacking another. 5 European leaders and the UK released a statement yesterday saying they are determined to ensure Arctic security, as is the U.S., and that it should be done by NATO allies collectively. Any action taken by Europe could lead to criticism or worse from the U.S. president. He has on several occasions accused Europe of being weak and unable to protect itself, often citing defense investment levels among NATO countries. As for the threat of the U.S. invading Greenland, France's Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot told French media that he spoke with Rubio on the phone Tuesday and that the U.S. Secretary of State ruled out an invasion. Barrot said France wants to take action in support of Denmark and Greenland, but wants to do something along with other European partners. The chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Finland's parliament said the issue should be raised by NATO. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, London.
Nunavut's MP says she has no plans right now to join the Federal Liberal Party, but she has been asked to consider it. The CBC's Devin Tradinick reports.
NDP member Lori Idlout says some Liberal Party members and some of her own constituents have asked her to consider switching parties.
It's definitely weighed heavily on me, and I've had so many conversations with people, and I just appreciate everyone who I've talked with. What they've all said is that whatever I decide, it will be what I think is best for Nunavummiut.
Idlout says she would not be surprised to see another MP cross the floor. The Liberals are one seat shy of forming a majority government. CBC News asked the party to confirm whether it was in talks with Idlout about crossing the floor. A spokesperson responded in an email saying the Liberals are ready to work collaboratively with parliamentarians from all parties to build a stronger Canada. A political science professor at Carleton University says an MP who crosses the floor also risks upsetting their voters.
They can face a backlash, right, from their constituents who said, no, I voted NDP. I voted NDP, that's where I wanted my vote to go, and now you've changed that without seeking our consent.
The NDP is months away from a leadership vote. Some think that's when the current party members would leave. That includes another political science expert, Alex Marland. He also speculated on what it might take for Idlout to cross.
In order to think about crossing the floor, she might want to be trying to leverage her position to be able to gain some sort of promises for her constituents, for her riding.
Idlout says that she's concerned that joining the Liberals would limit her ability to criticize the government, so for now, she's staying put. Devin Tradinick, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Mushers and former board members say the 2026 Yukon Quest has been quietly cancelled after a tumultuous few years for the iconic sled dog race. Tori Fitzpatrick reports.
Rather than ending with one last howl, the Yukon's most famous sled dog race will be going out with a whimper. After weeks of radio silence, mushers say they've scratched the race from their calendars. A former board member says there's no one left to organize the race. The Quest board is run mainly by volunteers, most of whom left the board sometime within the last year. One musher says the race has been slowly dying over the past few years. That started in 2022 when the race split in two. The event used to follow a 1,600-kilometer route between Whitehorse and Fairbanks, Alaska, but disagreements about dog care between the Canadian and American boards led to the split. Since then, the race on the Canadian side has contended with climate change-related challenges, and the board received some pushback last year after moving the route away from the Yukon River. Financial constraints also challenged the board's remaining members this past year. One member called the Quest financial situation, quote, unfortunate. Mushers say they are disappointed, but they remain hopeful that the Quest isn't gone forever. The challenge, they say, will be finding enough volunteers to organize a race for next year. Tori Fitzpatrick, CBC News, Whitehorse.
The Kivalliq Health Center in Rankin Inlet, Nunavut has a new tool to treat head injuries. A portable MRI machine arrived in the community last month. So far, 3 patients have used the machine. Nunavut's Chief of Staff for Health says that means 3 less people have had to travel south for that type of procedure.
Before we had the machine in Rankin Inlet, every head injury that happened in Kivalliq was sent to Winnipeg to get a CAT scan done or an MRI out of territory.
Once the machine scans someone, reports are sent to radiologists in Ottawa.
I'm Suresh Das. I've spent my career writing about the local favorites that make Canada's food scene truly unique. I've never had Nigerian food like this.
If this is where Filipino food is headed, I'm so proud.
From vibrant street food to comforting traditional dishes to innovative personal twists on classics, I believe every bite tells a story. Now, I want to share those stories with you.
Where does bravery live? In Marie-Philippe Poulin, who went from playing in a boys' league to trailblazing a pro women's league. And in Cynthia Appia, who refuses to let the high cost of sports slow her down. It lives inside Piper and Paul, who use every fall as a chance to bounce back even higher. Where does bravery live? Inside every Canadian, in the moments that define us.
This January on CBC TV.
I am all over this party.
It's officially cancel your plans season.
Can't even put your arms down.
Turn up the heat with unforgettable drama.
You know, once we do this, there's no going back.
Unstoppable laughs.
Get up.
Family favorites.
Let's play the feud, everybody.
And gripping mysteries.
How gruesome indeed.
This January, find everything you need to see.
Exactly, for sure.
On CBC TV. And stream anytime on CBC Gem.
I'm heading to the African continent and across the diaspora to speak with activists, artists, athletes. I'm Amanda Paris, always pushing the conversation forward. And this is For the Culture.
Putting on a major fireworks show is no easy feat, no matter where you are. But in a remote community north of the Arctic Circle, with often extremely cold temperatures, there are some challenges to overcome. Here in Inuvik, the Sunrise Festival fireworks show is a community favorite. It's happening this Saturday night, and ahead of that show, we got a sneak peek of how it all works right here at the Inuvik Fire Hall, starting with the lighting of a fuse to show the timing of some of the fireworks. Okay, Marissa, tell me where we are right now and tell me what we're standing in front of.
Well, right now we are in the fire hall, the bays of the Inuvik Fire Department. And here we have our fireworks racks. They are just thawing, getting it ready to get them set up starting on Thursday.
Okay, so when I walked in here, I kind of couldn't believe, I've never seen, I guess, behind the scenes of a fireworks show, and there's so many. So you're telling me all of these will be full of fireworks for the show this weekend?
Yeah, so these ones are 5-inch shells. We have some 6-inch, some 4-inch, some 3 inches as well. And pretty much all of them are full of fireworks. And actually, I can just show you one. So this is our 6-inch shell. So this is the largest that we can light with our license that we have. And so really we just pretty much put them into each of these. We'll put them in, lay them all the way in, and then at the end we have our fuse. So inside we just kind of attach all of them together so that we're not individually lighting every firework. We're gonna have a fuse between all four, and then we just light the end of the fuse so we have time to move away safely, and then they just kind of go one at a time. But yeah, so pretty much all of them. We have the town of Inuvik. I think they got $20,000 to go towards fireworks, including like shipping and everything like that. And we also have, they're called cakes, and those are the boxes that are on the ground that kind of shoot up. We have a bunch of those as well.
That is all very exciting. $20,000 is a lot of fireworks. So what are you expecting the show to be like this year with that?
We've been actually very lucky for the past couple years. We've had this amount. But honestly, it lasts about a good 25 minute straight of fireworks. And it's pretty nice here, especially since we don't have Canada Day fireworks because there's no nighttime during that time. So it's kind of nice for the whole community to celebrate the sun coming back.
Yeah, this is really the show of the year. Tell me how it's also evolved over the years, because I know that Inuvik has been doing this for quite some time, this show.
I don't know exactly how many years. I've been in Inuvik for about 16 years now and been part of this crew this whole time. And we started with just a bit less fireworks, but the main idea is pretty much the same. It's a big part of the community to have the fireworks during the festival.
Tell me, what are some of the challenges that you face in doing a fireworks show, especially one that lasts as long as 25, 30 minutes when it is so cold outside? Right now it's minus 40. We don't know what it'll be over the weekend, but that presents challenges, I imagine.
Yeah, so we actually we do have a lot of safety protocols in. So these ones are rated to minus 40. So we kind of give ourselves even a bigger buffer. We don't want anything cracking or any issues with the fireworks. So the weather is a big thing. Since I've been here, we've only maybe once had to postpone it due to weather. But yes, the cold is a big thing. Making sure the tape, because all of these are going to be taped to the actual, like on the racks and things like that. So we want to make sure that that works. But other than that, like fireworks are fine to, go off in any temperatures really. It just depends on kind of like the moisture in the air, like is it cloudy and things like that. But the coldness shouldn't affect it too much. But it's just us. So we bundle up and wear some very, thick gloves and nice coat and, well, not a nice coat, but a thick coat, a warm coat. But honestly, as we're doing it, you don't really feel, it's kind of like an adrenaline thing. Like you're just kind of go, 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 go. So you don't really have time to be cold until the end.
What's your favorite part about being involved in this show?
At first, when I first joined, to join on this crew, it was just something I had never thought I would. It was just something different. So I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, But now having my proper professional license, I just learning how the fireworks work, going just everything from like ordering to setting up to actually lighting the show and things like that. I find that's pretty much the big thing, is just kind of keeps us going every year. So we do have a crew of, this year is going to be our biggest one. I think we have 6 of us. So, I mean, it doesn't seem big, but it's a good amount. We've done it with 4 people, the same amount of racks and fireworks. It's a lot of work. But on the day of the actual fireworks, we do get the other firefighters to come and help bring the racks to the site. So we're not there unloading it all by ourselves, but then they go and do the bonfire and then we're able to just light it. And there's like all these regulations about the distance that everyone has to be. So we kind of keep everything in mind for that.
And is there a training element as well? You mentioned that you're licensed. Do you train other people? How does that work to kind of keep passing the baton along?
Yeah, so the first part is going to be kind of like a safety/apprenticeship. So you do an online course and then you have to do 3 live shows as well. And then with supervisors who will sign you off. And then once you have completed that, then you're able to get your actual professional license where you can order fireworks up to 6 inches. Brian and I, the fire chief and I, have actually put on a course for people in Tuck. So we've had some people that come learn how. They did our safety course. They did 3 shows with us, and then they were actually able to do their own shows for the past couple years. So that's been kind of nice to be able to do that. So as long as you have your supervisor license, then you're able to put on the course and supervise the shows to sign off other people.
So nice to be able to pass on that knowledge to other communities as well. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the show, the shells, the fireworks?
It's super exciting. I don't know if you guys are in town on Saturday. Oh, perfect. You'll get to see our show, I guess. But we try to really get there's a lot of different types of patterns that show up in the fireworks. So we try to mix it up, get lots of colors. And then we actually have a different type of finale. We usually have like a very colorful finale, but this year will be a little bit different. So I guess you'll have to see on Saturday the colors that are being chosen.
I can't wait to see. Thank you so much for taking us behind the scenes. I really appreciate it.
Yes, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for coming by.
If you've ever taken a road trip to Haines, Alaska, or Kluane National Park in the Yukon, you've probably stopped by Frosty's in Haines Junction. It's best known for its burgers and ice cream, which feed travelers and locals throughout the summer. After being closed for a number of years, the restaurant is now under new ownership, and it's open this winter to create a community hub. Isabella Calisi has more.
In the spring of 2025, Haines Junction's well-known restaurant Frosty's opened once again after being closed for 2 years. The highly visited burger and ice cream stand opened under new management and ran for the summer as usual. But now, locals find themselves being able to enjoy the food spot year-round as the restaurant is open for the winter. The co-owners of the restaurant, Grace Clunes-Ross and Janet Mendoza, say the decision was made in part because they were using the kitchen for catering services already, but there was also a desire to create a new community space for the village.
Our winter is very long, and there is not really a place to stay. Like, there's not a really a place to go and have a chat with friends, and having a cozy place. It's inviting to people, whatever they're going through. They're happy, they're sad. We know that there's a place that they can come and talk to friends or whatever.
The sister-in-laws have lived in Haines Junction for many years, running the Top Spot convenience store, cooking in a small back kitchen. The village has limited options when it comes to dining and community spaces, so locals are happy to have the extra gathering space.
I love that it's open this winter because it's such a great place for community to gather, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. It's so nice to have another place to go to eat and connect with community. It's such a warm, cozy environment. It's like you're in a little log cabin.
Clunes-Ross adds they still plan to keep the same menu as before and will continue to hire local youth during school breaks. The biggest plan, she says, is to add a coffee bar come the spring to create a cafe atmosphere. Isabella Clesi, CBC News, Haines Junction.
Services are slowly ramping up again in Coral Harbour, Nunavut. Many came to a stop after the community was hit by a blizzard a week ago. The blizzard had winds reaching speed of 120 kilometers per hour. It bore down on the community. It led to the cancellation of multiple events. One resident says it was a disappointing start to the new year.
Yes, it was a real blizzard. We were all getting ready for the New Year's celebration. Evening church services were cancelled, as well as the square dances that were going to take place after church. All the community celebrations were stopped because of the storm.
Power was also disrupted during the storm. Parts of the community were left without electricity for more than 3 days. Electricity has since been restored. Now, let's take a look at your weather. And that is Northbeat for tonight, live from the Inuvik Fire Hall. Thank you so much for watching. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. We leave you now with scenes from Inuvik. I'm Megan Roberts in Inuvik. Have a good night.